So here we go, Monday after another loss, y'all. I wanted to stream yesterday, but my internet was tripping, so I'ma just wait till the film drop. So y'all saw Mike had a terrible game. He went 12 for 28, like 180 yards and a touchdown. Should have had an interception too. And everybody's criticizing him, rightfully so. However, I don't think everything was necessarily his fault. I don't know why people are saying this, but some people are actually agreeing with people that we need to bring in competition next year. It's like, already, but my advice to y'all is don't engage with them. They just want to talk. But I do feel like in this situation we kind of fall into just putting the blame on one person when a lot of it wasn't on Mike. Okay, if I had to give Mike a grade, he gets like a D for me, because he had a good first half, but then that second half in particular, right after that missed interception by Sauce Gardner, he played an entirely different game because he dropped back 14 more times after that. And of those 14 dropbacks, he had 9 incompletions, and 5 of them were in a row. And then the other one was a sack. So it was just like 10 of those 14 dropbacks were not positive plays. Now, one of them was a drop, but still, you're looking at 8 incompletions and a sack. But we also get into like the game script where we were averaging 5 yards to carry, and Zac Robinson just got scared of running the ball after a short gain or a negative gain. He didn't give Mike the answers because everybody knew they were going to play man coverage. Like, they even confirmed it right before the game. They said Sauce was going to be traveling for 85% of those plays. So that could tell you, hey man, when those gotta have it moments, they're going to be playing man-to-man coverage. Okay, you're sitting there on the sideline, you're watching how the defense reacts. You see them playing man coverage and you're still calling this BS. But I will give him credit. The run game looked way better, and we're using more play action. But I told y'all this. I told y'all we will see more play action today, or yesterday rather. But it also is showing that, Zac is getting more comfortable with Mike, but he's still not there in terms of calling a complete game. Because once again, the play designs are never the issue most times. It's just your feel for the game flow. Okay, the run game was working and you went away from it. And my other gripe is, I think we were trying to push the ball down the field too much. I understand that you could beat the Colts over the top because they're very susceptible to it, but you have to get Mike in a rhythm, and his average depth of target was 12 yards down the field. So on average, he was pushing the ball past the sticks, like very, very far past the sticks, because not every play was a 1st and 10 or 3rd and 10. So to push the ball 12 yards down the field on average, I say the healthy medium is probably around 8.5, possibly 9, but 12 is crazy. That just shows we were hunting the big play all game. But I have a lot of film. Let me stop talking because I probably got 10 or 15 clips to show y'all, because I really want to break everything down and show y'all it wasn't just Mike. But if y'all guys do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. So let's go and get into it. Now, for the sake of time of not being here all day, I'm not going to literally go in depth as much as I do when I'm doing 4 to 5 plays, because I got like I said, I got about 15, but I'm just going to show you and go through some of the plays that I picked out that I thought were significant. Okay. And so this is the very first play of the game, I think, or maybe the second play of the game. But what we have here, we're going to have Drake London motion in. We're going to get both of, Drake and Mooney clearing out for Kyle. So it's like a spear concept. We have a double post. That's an ugly outside post. He was probably more of this. And then we're going to get Kyle on the over route. And remember, this was the first pass of the game and he dropped it. Okay. But you see the play action there. Okay. Because look, it wasn't a hard play action just yet where you got 2 men out on the right. You're going to see that soon, but look, just drop shit. So that's not Mike's fault. That's on Kyle. Now, this one, I will say it was on Mike, and now a lot of people did say that down here it was on Kyle for running a straight up fade route. However, and I agree with him because there's a linebacker. I did not notice that when I initially saw it. I noticed that now. There was a linebacker right here in cover, so I can't get mad at Mike for wanting to go here because, it was supposed to be a hitch. However, you did audible over here to these guys, and you had Bijan on a flat route or an error route, okay? Drake ran down like this. I think Mooney did that, okay? But you have your answer to the blitz, which is a blitz. Now, they ended up bringing 5, okay? But let's look at this. I understand Kyle was going to be open right here because he should have ran a hitch, okay? But you also audible over here, okay? And look at that. You see he's open. And okay, look at this. Let's go back from the beginning because I don't think y'all saw it. But look, Mike is going to signal over there, okay? And they looking at him. right? Bijan looks over and he got it. Cool. But then for you to signal over there at the same time, it is on Mike, because I look at it from a point of you audible to something over there. So I'm thinking you're going to look over there because that's where you change the play. But at the same time, Kyle Pitts ran the wrong route. It's like those nuanced conversations we got to have. Now, I really do like this play right here. This is another play action play. Still early in the game. We're going to get Bijan motioning over, okay? But the main thing I want y'all to look at is this concept, which is dagger. So you're going to have Kyle Pitts clearing through, and then you're going to have Drake on the in cut, okay? And the defense does a good job of initially stopping this, okay? Which is great. They stopped the play within the timing of it, but this is where I like Mike, okay? If we watch this play out, right, we're going to see that, look at this. When he gets to the top of his drop, he's ready to throw the ball, and you see Jermaine Pratt, he's opening up towards this side of the field, and guess where that in cut's coming? It's coming right here. Kyle Pitts is coming through, obviously, and this guy's going to take him all the way through. But you see there's nothing open within the structure of the play. That's good. Then we're going to follow that up with having 8 guys in protection, you know, plus the running back, and we're going to do a hard play action. So we're going to do Drake on a deep pylon route, and then we're going to have Mooney on an out route. Okay, this works. I like this. It takes advantage of Mike's throwing ability, because once again, his arm can hit any part of the field. Okay, and you're pretty much isolating this corner. Does he want to play top down? Okay, the out route's going to be open. Okay, or do you want to nail down on this out route, and now your safety's, you know, he's probably beat over the top. Now it is Drake London. You probably can't beat a guy over the top if you're Drake London, but you can make a move, you know, at the top of the route, and then Drake throw a 50-50 ball. Cool. But I do like this, you know, going max protection and then having a 2-man route concept, because Mike can do this. Okay, he's not right there. Cool. And then this was later on in the same drive, and I just don't understand this play call. I think Drake didn't either, because he gave an audible reaction to the sideline. So if we watch what's going on, we're doing a tunnel screen to Bijan. Okay, he's gonna motion out, and usually a tunnel screen is you're gonna go up and you're gonna work back. Okay, and then you're gonna have, you know, your guys out to block for you. You're gonna have your linemen out too, and you're just trying to get that ball run and go right up the field. Cool. But what I don't like about this is, for one thing, this was a 3rd and medium, and the pass game had gotten to a rhythm. I don't understand why we call a screen right here. The second thing is, I don't think it was coached properly, because look, once this play starts, you know, once again, I said before, when you do these tunnel screens, you have to go up, then you work back. Okay, and Bijan doesn't do that. He kind of goes up and he just stops, and they do agree. Because look, he looking right over there, Raheem. Like, why do we green like that play? That was like, we were in a rhythm and you threw a screen pass. Like, that's on Zac. It's on Zac, and it's on Bijan maybe if it was a tunnel screen. But like, it's just a lot of stuff doesn't make sense to me at this point in time. And then this is the next one right here. This is the following drive. Now, I don't really worry about the pass concept right here, but we're just going to motion over David Sills. Okay, let's look at what's going on. I want y'all to pay close attention to our best offensive tackle on the team, y'all. And I want y'all to tell me what he does. So when you get this ball, look at him. Look at him. Guys, the ball was snapped. Everybody's moving but you. But you. And people are going to sit up here and say this entire game was on Mike. It was not, because it was stuff like this happening. No, this was definitely not on Mike, and we had to take a sack for this, because our best offensive tackle wasn't ready for the play. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Now, this right here was later in the half. This is the touchdown pass. So I think defensively what we're looking at here is cover 3, because you're going to have the safeties playing deep. You're going to have Sauce Gardner playing his outside third. You're going to have this guy playing his outside third too, okay? This is what we're getting. I don't know why I drew it like that. I'm just trying to get through it, okay? But offensively, what we're getting is we're getting snags. So we're going to have Bijan run out to the flat fast. We're going to have Kyle Pitts. Well, it's a version of snag, I would say. But Kyle Pitts is going to run this seam route, just kind of like run off coverage. And then you're going to get Drake London running this stop, and then he's going to wheel back out. Okay, this is a very good play call, especially because earlier in this drive, we had Mooney. Now, let's imagine Kyle's not over here. Let's imagine he's in line right over here, okay? We had Mooney motion over, and we ran, you know, stick basic, where we're going to have an arrow right here. We're going to have stick right there. Then we're going to have the progression on the backside where you get the dig, and then you're going to get this return route, okay? This is one of our most used concepts, especially down in this area, okay? And for us to give the same look with Drake London, where he's going to be running this little stop route, but no, I'm going to pirouette and go up the field, This is a good play call by Zac. I will give him his credit. This is how you work off of, your tendencies, okay? And then it's also an even better job by Mike to put some air on this ball. Like, we've been begging him to put touch on passes, and he did it. He did it. It's not that he can't do it. He just doesn't do it consistently, okay? And we get a touchdown right here, and the price is going up for Drake London. Like, we're going to have to give him like 40 M's to just stay here because he doesn't want to be here, obviously, because he wants to win. He doesn't care about his stats, and we aren't winning at all, okay? We got to pay him a lot of money this offseason. Now we're coming back to another play I like where we're doing some of the things we did last year. I wouldn't say we did this play exactly, but this is stuff that we worked off of, right? Where we had Drake London, cut all the way down at an edge split, blocking guys, okay? And then we're going to have Kyle Pitts, who's right inside of him, pause. He's going to be running this deep corner route, okay? Or a sail route, whatever you want to call it. Then we're going to get the play action going that way. Cool. I like stuff like this where we get the pocket moving and we get easy completions, okay? I don't know why this stopped in the second half because the running game was working. You do this off of a good run game. Now, I'm not saying you need a successful run game to have a successful play action attack because that's been proven false. You don't need a good ground game to be good at play action. Look at the Seattle Seahawks right now. They have a terrible run offense in terms of efficiency, but their play action is top of the league, okay? But we're going to watch this play. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the motion. That's my fault, y'all. But look at this. Fake the run to the right, roll out left, and look at that. You have your easy high-low, okay? You have Kyle Pitts on this corner route. You have Bijan in the flat. Okay, and now you just got to read this guy. He's way too low to affect this throw, so we're going to put some air under, let Kyle go get it, and we get some run after catch right here. Look, good catch, got an extra few yards out of this, and now we're across the 40, their 40 rather, and it's a good play. I like this. Good play design, good time to call this because the run was working. Now, do y'all remember the second play of this video where we had Mike take the sack fumble? Now, this is the same exact play, basically. But what we're going to be getting here, this is where the game went downhill for Mike, okay? We're going to get this hitch outside by Drake. We're going to get Mooney going over the top right here. He's open, by the way. And then Bijan's going to sit right here, okay? And also Kyle, he's going to sit right there. Boom. So this is where the game went downhill, in my opinion, because after this, Mike just seemed rattled to me, okay? And we watch this play through. Look, okay, you still have this look right here where everybody's on the line. The Colts, they struck gold when they did this the first time because they saw Mike had no answer for it, and it just kept coming back to it and coming back to it. You saw early in the fourth quarter, or you saw in the fourth quarter and the overtime, they just stayed in it and they didn't get out of it. They're going to force Mike to figure it out, and he couldn't figure it out, which is fine. He's young, okay? You're going to have moments like this where guys just have your number and they throw something at you that you don't know how to fix yet, okay? They threw a problem he didn't know how to solve. So look, he was expecting an access throw, because it is a cover 3, but all game we had been kind of dinking and dunking. I wouldn't say dinking and dunking, but we kind of been like nickel and diming on Sauce Gardner, where we would just throw routes right up underneath him, or we would motion over to his side and he would be on this guy right here, and as he would motion over, he would back up, and we would just throw the ball right up underneath him. Okay, he got tired of that, all right, and he was waiting on it. He was itching for it, and that would have been 6. And it doesn't hurt that Mike left it short and inside. You're never leaving a perimeter throw short and inside. I would rather you throw this high. Throw it high and out here. That way Drake can, reach out and go get it. But he left it short and inside. I'm not sure why he left it short and inside, but either way, this is on Mike, and this is where the game went downhill. And once again, it was another third down where, Lord, that could have changed the game. Okay, this is the following drive right here where we're going to be getting another incomplete pass. Also, the refs need to do their job, and I understand the call would have been against us, but still do your job. So we're going to get an exit motion, and then we're going to get a curl route by Mooney, all right? And then we're going to get an out route complemented. So this is curl flat, simple as that. Okay, and they're playing man-to-man coverage over here. No surprise because man-to-man was working all game, but you're going to see, once again, this motion right here, this is illegal shift, okay? You can't move forward before the snap, okay? Especially if you're in motion. So one, that's illegal for Darnell Mooney to do. Second of all, this is probably, PI right here. And then third of all, Mike puts all his arm into his throw, and it just hits the ground. Could Mooney have caught that? Maybe. But you don't want to throw it that low to where he has to, look at that. He has to, go down for it. Just put it on his numbers, man. That was a bad throw. Bad throw, 2 penalties by Darnell Mooney, 1 play. I'm not sure how that's true or how that's possible, rather. And you see guys on the sideline like, what the hell's going on? That's a penalty. That's for sure a penalty. Now, once again, right here, this is another good play call by Zac. I will give him his credit. But I still stand on a firm belief that we should have just kept running the ball because that what was working. We took the lead off of running the ball. Okay, but that's besides the point. So do y'all remember where I told y'all our favorite play sometimes is, that stick basic where we got the stick right here on the front side and we get the return route and the dig on the back side, and then the running back, he would check out that way. I forgot to add that, but this is one of our most common concepts, right? We play off of that again, okay? So we're going to have Darnell Mooney go fake like he's doing the arrow route, okay? But he's going to turn it into a wheel route. Cool. We're going to have Drake London running his stick route again. Cool. And then on the backside, we're going to get the same thing, right? You can't convince me that this isn't good sequencing right here, okay? This is very good sequencing because, once again, it's playing off your tendencies. But where this goes wrong is Mike throws a bad ball. So let's look at this. All right, so this is the route. I say Darnell Mooney kind of wins, but it's, they're even. They're 50-50, but he's off the red line, but I don't think that really matters. But look, I think he can put that in a good spot. Like, I've seen Mike put a ball perfectly right here where he needed to be, okay? I've seen him be able to do that, okay? So I'm going to say this was his fault because he threw the ball way out of bounds, okay? Way out of bounds. I don't know if he was scared of the safety. I don't know if it was just a bad throw, but like, I've seen him hit this throw way too many times to be like, oh man, we'll get him next time. No, that's on you. You can hit that throw. You just missed the throw. As simple as that. And then we come back on the next play. We're kind of running a mirror concept right here. We're gonna be getting deep out routes by Drake and Mooney right here, right? Then we're gonna get David Sills on this end breaker. Not sure this play design really, but it was open, so I'm gonna give him the grace right there. This play call was open. I don't know about the design really, but let's look at this. This is the play where he threw it behind David Sills, and he was very open, like wide open. Look at this. Okay, so let's check it out. So you're gonna see that he's gonna win. He's gonna win early in the route, y'all. Look at that. He stacks the receiver. Cool. He's doing everything that you want a receiver to do in a route to win successfully. Okay, he sticks him at the top, and I think this is where Mike kind of got confused. I won't say confused, but like, I think he was expecting a cleaner break, but he kind of just paused right there, and you see like that little pause when he tried to anticipate the throw. And then what makes it worse is he stumbles out of his break. So I think he was doing too much right here. But either way, dog, like, this was an open throw to make, right? This would have flipped the field on a 3rd and long late in the game. Then we make this throw, run, kneel it, or run, kneel it, kick the field goal, we go home. I think this is when that happened. But look, just threw away behind him, and it could have been an interception, but another bad throw by Mike. Okay, now we got to show something positive again, because I do also like this play right here. This is another play action concept, right? We're going to get Drake London motioning in, and we did this last year with Kirk Cousins, where we're going to be running this. I'm not sure what kind of route it is, but he's going to kind of sell the goal, sell the corner, and then kind of come back down, something like that. And we're going to have Drake London just go sit over the ball, like a deep sit route. Okay, I like this right here because, once again, Mike's arm, he can touch any part of it. He can hit those tight windows. Kirk could hit him too. Okay, but like this, once again, this really, it's a force multiplier when you have the run game going. I understand you don't need a good run game to be effective on play action. It's just the mere threat of it. But when the run game is working, then it acts as a force multiplier. Okay, because let's look at this. Okay, we're gonna get the motion in. Okay, they're gonna pass off this motion because down, it's obvious it's zone cover. So look at this. Boom. Look at that. He's wide open. He hits Drake right there. Cool. We got 15 yards off of this. Very good. And then also you see that Sauce loses on his rep too because Darnell Mooney is also open. So if you want to hit Darnell Mooney, he was open as well. But good play nonetheless. We got 15 yards out of this. Okay, we should have just kept going back to Drake. Every play as far as passing game should have been for Drake at that point, because it was just like nobody else was going to be consistent enough for us to, go and win this game. I would have just kept leaning on Drake. So now we get to the actual play where we do that stick basic concept, but we're going to change it up just a little bit once again. Okay, so we're going to get this motion over. Damn, I don't know why I keep forgetting that. But anyways, we're going to do this motion over. all right? And then we're gonna do this arrow route. We're still gonna do the stick route right here, or outside rather. Damn, let me fix that. We're still gonna get this stick route right here, cool. But this time we're gonna do a cross by Kyle and then a backside dig by David Sills. So you're still working that pure progression when you have your rhythm 1, 2, 3, and then check down. Cool. Okay. And Mike has shown his ability to get through his reads, because look at this, y'all. Very good play right here. Look. Okay, we're going to get that motion. And once again, they're going to bump it. Or they're not going to bump it. They're going to just, well, they do bump it actually, because now this linebacker is responsible for Darnell Mooney, which I probably would have threw this if I was Mike. Okay. But I would have left yards on the table, because look at this. Okay. You see, he wants to go rhythm. Okay. 1 hitch on Drake, 2 hitches on Kyle. Oh my God. That was so beautiful. And he hits him in stride. And we inside the red zone, y'all. That was an amazing play right there by Mike. It may look like meat and potatoes to you, but for guys that watch quarterback play, to see him go within the timing of the play perfectly. Because look, once again, rhythm. Okay, that means the throw's right there right now. It's not. Okay, now this is 1 hitch right here. He wants to go to Drake. This linebacker expands to Drake because they've been throwing it all game, y'all. And now he's on 2nd hitch right there. Let's see, rip over the middle of the field. Whoever says Mike can't throw over the middle of the field, you just aren't watching him play. Okay, like, damn, y'all. I don't know what y'all be watching, bro. Okay, this is the overtime stuff, I think. Okay, so let's look at this. Right, this is a bad throw by Mike. So look at this. We're gonna get a short motion, and he's gonna motion back out, and then we're gonna get this out route. Okay, Mooney's gonna be open. Let me fix that out route because that looks egregious. Okay, hold up. Okay, but then we're gonna have an OTB by David Sills. We're gonna have a shallow cross by Drake, and then Cop is gonna run this return route. This is not a bad play. This is not a bad play at all. Like, look at the design of it. You have your clear progression where you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I could go into the details about how it looks versus every coverage and how you would read it out, but like, this is a repeatable play, and you're starting to see the point. The design isn't the problem, it's the sequencing, and then sometimes it's the quarterback. Okay, so, oh man, but let's look at what happens. All right, so look, we're gonna get this motion now. He's gonna motion back out to where he was. You're gonna see he just leaves it high. I said high, my fault. I meant low. That's my fault. But the ball, it wasn't an accurate pass. I would have been like, okay, maybe he was probably expecting Mooney to work back down. Maybe that could have been the issue right there. But at the same time, you know, he's running a regular out route, and it's there. He's beat one of the better corners in football right there. Okay, you got to put it on him. Well, that's not Sauce Gardner. That's my fault. I don't know what I'm doing this play, but look, my point is, y'all, this is like, you just can't miss these layups right here. And he missed a lot of layups. I compared it to watching, you know, church league, where you're seeing a lot of missed layups, a lot of bad shots, and you can equate it to this: a lot of missed easy throws, a lot of bad throws, and that's what happened. And then when you start to watch this a little bit more, you're gonna get the same thing. Basically, we're gonna get an out route right here by Darnell Mooney once again. Then we're gonna get a corner route by Drake. Then you're gonna get this like return stop or something like this. You're gonna get a backside dig. Now, I don't think necessarily this is the play where it's like Mike got fooled by the coverage, because he went to the right place. Okay, this was a cover 3, and this is an access throw right here. And he took the right thing to do, or he did the right thing and throw the access throw, but he left it high. Okay, so you see, look at this. This, you know, they bail out into a covered. No, this is actually Tampa 2. My fault. That's my fault. Because this is a linebacker running through the middle of the field. This is actually Tampa 2. That's me. But look at this. Still, once again, if you're looking at this from, you know, is it open? This is absolutely open, because you have a guy bailing right here, and this guy can't affect this throw if you put it in the right spot. Okay, and he put it way too high. Way too high. I was like, there's no way he just did that. So, you know, it was an overtime too, which is terrible, even worse. And then right here, this is our last play of the game. Now, I do want y'all to show this, bro. We're doing David Sills a disservice, because look at him. He's gonna run this corner route, and he's gonna be wide open. He's gonna get over the top of Kenny Clark easily. Okay, but where this goes wrong is that there's a 5-man rush. Okay, these two guys are gonna go in. Zaire Frank is gonna loop around. He's gonna take his standard rush. Okay, and the fact that we can't pick up a simple stunt, it's just mind-blocking, because look at this, y'all. Okay, let's look at David Sills first. Okay, he's gonna get right over top of Kenny Clark easily. Okay, cool. You see that. But then we also look at this stunt over here, y'all. Look at this, y'all. We can't pick up a simple stunt and we take a sack off of that. Like, it all wasn't on Mike, but he was missing some throws. Protection couldn't hold up. Guys were running like weird routes. He couldn't make throws. The coordinator didn't want to help him out by sticking to the run to alleviate some of that pressure, and we didn't do enough play action. Now, granted, this is the most play action we've done in a game ever since we've had Mike, which is like around 30% of his dropbacks. But it just, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Like, as y'all can see, we can hang with any team in the league. We just can't finish games, y'all. This is the 4th loss of the season where it's just like, they got away from us. Because look at this. We missed the field goal against the Buccaneers, okay? Then we fast forward, we lose a close one in San Francisco. We lost 1 point last week, and then we lose in overtime for this one. That's 4 wins. Because even then, despite this, look, the last 2 weeks we've been like 2 for 18 on third downs, okay? We're still in a position to win that game. Or is it 1 of 18? Something like that, where it's just, at most, we've had 1 at 2 third down conversions this entire 2 weeks. And we were still in position to win both games. Okay. So it's just like, why do we let 4 wins get away from us like that? Because we could easily be 6-2. It just doesn't make sense that 6-2 and 3-6 are literally separated by this much. Like, it's literally a game of inches sometimes, y'all. This is a long video, so I'm not gonna waste all of y'all time. If y'all did enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more film coming probably this week. We have some bounce back games in place for the next few weeks, so we need to win those. But that's beside the point. See y'all in the next video.